Hey friends, do you ever find yourself in a chicken rut, making those same old chicken casseroles again and again? Well, no more. Tonight I'm sharing 3 brand new chicken casseroles that are going to blow your mind and leave your family begging for more. Each one is quick and easy, made with simple, basic ingredients, but they each have a special twist that's sure to make them a new weeknight favorite. Tonight I'm making a brand new casserole. This is called chicken noodle casserole. It seems like it's going to be a cross between a chicken casserole and a broccoli casserole. I can't wait. I'm going to put a little bit of oil in a skillet here, and you can definitely use fresh chicken. You would want about 2.5 cups of it, and you would need to cook it through. But I've got some rotisserie chicken. This is almost an entire package. And I'm just going to finish it off in this casserole. I'm just rough chopping through it to get any of the pieces that were big cut down to a little bit smaller size. Just going to slide my chicken down into this oil. Get it tossed around just a little bit. And mine is rotisserie chicken. It's already got some really nice seasoning on it. But I'm going to give it a little shake of garlic powder and a little bit of Italian seasoning. If you were cooking your chicken from fresh, use these same seasonings and a little bit of salt and pepper. And I just want my chicken to get warm. It's fully cooked. I'm just warming it up here. I'm also going to get my pasta to cooking. Got a nice big pot of boiling salted water. Going to use a 12-ounce box. I'm using the bow tie pasta. You can use the spirals, penne, whatever you like. And I'm going to cook it just shy of al dente. To finish off my prep work, I'm shredding up an 8-ounce block of sharp white cheddar cheese. My chicken is getting nice and warm, and I've got about 2 cups of some broccoli. Mine's frozen. You definitely would want it all the way thawed out here. Mine's almost there. But I'm just going to put it in here and let it get the rest of the way thawed and tender up just a little bit. You could use a fresh broccoli here. You might just want to parboil it a little bit, blanch it, since it's fresh. Just get it kind of the cooking started on it. Because we're not really worried about cooking this broccoli through right now. We just want to get it kind of warm and incorporated. Another thing that I'm doing is kind of chopping my broccoli up with my spoon a little bit. When I make a broccoli casserole, I like to use chopped broccoli instead of broccoli florets. With the chicken, I wanted it to have, a little bit of a bigger piece, but I still like it a little bit small. I don't want any just huge chunks. We want bite-sized pieces. I've got my pasta drained off, and I'm just going to return it right to this pan. And we're just going to stir everything for this casserole right in here together, the easiest way to do it. I've got my chicken and my broccoli. I'm going to put in 8 ounces, 1 cup of sour cream, 1 can of cream of mushroom soup, and you could definitely use cream of chicken here, cream of celery, cream of broccoli. Can't talk. Cream of broccoli would be really good in this. And I do have this off the heat now. 1/2 cup of milk. Let's get this just a quick little stir together. Then we're going to put in our 2 cups of white cheddar, sharp white cheddar. I could eat it right out of this pot. It looks and smells so good. Just going to get it all combined very carefully. Don't want to break your noodles up. You've cooked them under al dente so they'll hold up. Got my handy dandy 9x13 casserole dish. Gonna grease it up. And there's just no pretty way to do this, but we're gonna dump it all right in here. Let's spread it out just a little bit. Then I'm just gonna grab about 1 cup of just some regular mild shredded cheddar cheese and put that over the top. Let's cover it with some aluminum foil. We want to hold in all that heat in the oven when it's baking. And we are gonna bake it at 375 degrees for 25 minutes. Then we're gonna pull it out and let's remove this aluminum foil. Oh, Lordy, that looks so good. Now I'm gonna use about a cup of these crispy fried onion things. I'm just gonna crush them up over the top. You don't have to use these. You don't have to use any topping if you don't want to, but I like a buttery Ritz cracker topping on my broccoli casserole. That would be good here. Or you could put some stuffing mix over the top, a little melted butter or panko. You can just do whatever you want. There's lots of options here. I haven't made anything with the French fried onions in a while, and I had this little container that I just used a little bit out of over the holidays. Then we're going to put it right back in the oven, this time uncovered for about 8 minutes. I wish that you could smell this with me. I don't know if you can hear that sizzling, but that casserole is so bubbly and delicious and beautiful. I'm gonna let it sit here just a few minutes and cool. You know, I want a bite of everything. Sometimes it's nice to have a white noodle casserole that's not Alfredo, you know what I mean? Or ranch, just something creamy and home style. I got a bite of it all. I got the broccoli, the chicken, the crispy onions. Let's give her a taste. Oh my gosh, I love it. The only thing right off the bat I'm gonna say is more broccoli. I went on the low side because my family's not super crazy about cooked broccoli, but I am. I would load it down with the broccoli. Oh my gosh. You gotta try this one. You got a cold winter day. Put this baby in. Oh, you'll be so glad you did. 10 out of 10. I swear. Every time I think I've made every casserole there is to make, I find some more. I love them. We're going to try these sourdough demi baguettes from Wild Grain for the first time tonight. This one goes directly onto the oven rack. It just takes 9 to 12 minutes. You don't even have to get out a pan for this. What's really nice is that this is a 2-pack. I can seal this right back up, put the other one in the freezer, and I'll have it for later. If I bought 2 of these fresh at the grocery store, one of them would get moldy and bad before I could use them. Oh, that's good. That's real good. If you haven't heard of Wild Grain, it's the first ever bake from frozen subscription box for sourdough breads, fresh hand-cut pastas, and artisanal pastries. It's delivered right to your door. Now, I love fresh baked bread, but I'm not a bread baker. I just don't have the touch for that. And you know, when it comes to dinner time, by the time I get the main entree together, a couple of side dishes, I really don't have the time or energy to even think about baking bread anyway. With Wild Grain, I just take the bread I want out of the freezer, put it straight into a preheated oven. Don't have to wait for anything to thaw out, and everything from Wild Grain bakes in 25 minutes or less. And it comes out of the oven fresh, warm, and tasting like home-baked bread that I didn't have to lift a finger to make. That's because Wild Grain partners with small bakers and pasta makers across the country to keep the tradition of artisanal bacon and nutritious food alive. And Wild Grain uses clean ingredients and a slow fermentation process. It can be a lot easier on your belly, and it offers many health benefits that you don't find in supermarket breads. We've also had that large sourdough loaf, the chocolate chip cookies, which are so decadent, and of course the croissants. Those things are humongous. They are flaky and delicious. Oh my gosh, look at those layers. You can customize your Wild Grain box with exactly what you want, have it delivered when you want it, and delivery is free. You'll never get bored with Wild Grain. They're constantly adding limited special items or seasonal items to their menu to choose from. And if you're gluten-free or have other dietary restrictions, you can actually build a gluten-free box or a plant-based box. And they have an Italian box that you can build with pastas, pizzas, breads, and more. And we just tried these Parmesan herb biscuits. Oh my goodness. I love these. Every single thing that we've tried has been delicious and bakery quality. Plus, Wild Grain donates 4 meals to the Greater Boston Food Bank for every new member that joins. So far, they've donated over 500,000 meals. If you can't wait to try Wild Grain, they've got a wonderful offer for my viewers today. Just head down to the description box, use the link and code MOMMAMAIL. You're going to get $30 off your first box and free croissants in every box for the life of your subscription. The link with all the details is below. You sure don't want to miss those free croissants. And thank you so much, Wild Grain, for sponsoring today's video and this wonderful offer for my viewers. I'm beyond excited to try this new recipe. This is a chicken pot pie cornbread casserole. It's a mouthful and it sounds delicious. The first thing that I did was get my oven preheating to 400 degrees. Grease my 9x13 casserole dish. I'm gonna set it right over here out of the way. And let's get started on our filling for this casserole. We're gonna need about 2 or 3 cups of cooked chicken. I'm using almost a pound of this rotisserie chicken that I get in the deli at Walmart. Also get this at Aldi. It's already pulled for you. And it's also just the chicken breast meat, which is what my family loves. Now, you could cook you up some chicken in a crock pot. You could bake it. If you've got leftover chicken, any of that works fine. And feel free to use dark meat in here if your family likes that. Into our chicken, I'm going to add in some frozen mixed vegetables. This is a 12-ounce bag. I'm going to use almost all of it, about 10 ounces probably. I'm going to put in about a half a cup of sour cream. Makes it really creamy and gives it a little bit of zing too. 1 can of cream of something soup. I'm using cream of chicken with herbs. I really like this one. But if you don't have a cream of chicken, you can use cream of mushroom, cream of potato, cream of celery, cream of anything would work here. I'm also putting in about a half a cup of milk, and I'm just going to go ahead and begin to stir this up and get some of this combined while I've got all my milk here on top. Now I'm going to stir in about 2 cups of shredded cheddar cheese, and I'm going to give just a dash of this salt, pepper, and garlic seasoning to mine. I had the rotisserie chicken, so I've got a good seasoning base. If you're just using a plain, not really seasoned up chicken breast, you definitely want to throw you a little bit of salt and pepper, maybe some garlic and onion powder to that. Also, I use the cream of chicken with herbs, so I'm going to have a lot of flavor going on in here. Now we're just going to take our chicken mixture, put it over into that prepared 9x13 casserole dish. And honestly, this is pretty much just like my regular chicken pot pie filling that I make. I don't think I put milk in mine, but I also use canned veg oil. There's something about the canned veggies that I really like in my regular chicken pot pie. And I use Biscuit for my topping. So I love cornbread. So I'm excited to try this little casserole. Now for our topping, the star of our show is going to be 1 little box of our favorite Jiffy corn muffin mix. I have a video full of recipes that I've made with Jiffy corn muffin mix. I'll link that for you in case you're a Jiffy fanatic like I am. Into that Jiffy, I'm putting a regular size. This is not the little half can. This is the 4.75 ounce can of cream style corn. This is almost giving me that corn casserole vibe. We're going to add 1 egg. Stuff like my finger went through that one. And I've got 3 tablespoons of melted butter. Let's get it all mixed together. And if you didn't notice, I just used the very same bowl that I mixed my filling up in. We're conserving dishes to wash here today, and it's fine. It's all going to the same place anyway. Now spread that right over the top, the Jiffy and corn mixture. You could even put a little cheese on the top of this before you put it in the oven. I'm standing here thinking about Tex-Mexing this thing up. You could do it instead of mixed vegetables. You could use like a nacho cheese soup and use some black beans and corn and bell peppers and stuff like that in it, and then do like a jalapeno cornbread. You know I like a little Tex-Mex. And I'm gonna bake this uncovered 35 to 40 minutes, looking for your cornbread to get pretty and brown on top. Oh my gosh. She's beautiful. I'm just gonna let it sit here for about 5 minutes before I start cutting into it. I just put a little salad on the side of ours, but quite honestly, you have everything you need right here. Meat, veggies, bread, and the longer it sits, the better it gets. It begins to set up a little bit more. All right, I'm going in. Look at that steam. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Oh my lordy. Guys, this right here is delicious. I love all the cream style corn in it with the topping. I'm glad that I went ahead and put a little bit more of the salt, pepper, and garlic because this really has a lot of good flavor. Be sure if you make this, season it well, because to me, that's what is really coming through here is the herb soup that I used and all those seasonings. This is ultimate wintertime comfort food. I'm just gonna go in here and sit down and eat till my heart is content. Tonight I'm making one of these super quick and easy dump and go casseroles. This one is Marry Me Chicken. You know I love those flavors. This is completely a dump and go recipe. Putting in 8 ounces. I had half a box of this cavatappi pasta left over. Putting it in I don't know what size, a half size, half of an 9x13 casserole dish because I'm making half this recipe. I have some rotisserie chicken I haven't used. This is maybe half of that container. Yep, I'm gonna put all of that in here. Use any kind of chicken you have, leftover, canned, whatever. Some of the bigger pieces, a little bit smaller. I'm gonna go ahead and sprinkle my seasonings on in here right now, and I'm just guesstimating maybe half a teaspoon of Italian seasoning, half a teaspoon of some garlic powder, and about half a teaspoon of some onion powder. I've diced up some sun-dried tomatoes. It's about half of one of these little 8.5 ounce jars that I normally buy. And I'm gonna go ahead and put a little bit of this oil in here. These come julienne cut, but I just wanted them a little bit smaller in a bite size. But that oil, that's where all of the flavor lives in these little babies. I've got some spinach here. I'm just gonna put just one little handful in. And now I'm gonna put in about 16 ounces of chicken broth, which is about half of this large carton I have here. I'm kind of just mushing everything down in here. You don't really have to stir it up super good just yet, but you wanna make sure that your noodles are down in this chicken broth because that is how they are gonna cook up. They're gonna absorb that broth and cook while they're in the oven. And I think I'm gonna add just a little bit more. I've got a half of a block, 4 ounces of cream cheese. I just went ahead and cubed it up. And when you go to look at this recipe in the description box, it'll take you to my website where you will get the full recipe for an entire 9x13 casserole dish of this. You can print it off, or you can pin it to your Pinterest board, or you can do both. I'm going to cover it pretty tightly with aluminum foil, which is tricky to do with the handles on this little dish. I've got my oven preheated to 400 degrees, and I'm going to bake this covered tightly for about 30 minutes, which was just enough time for me to run and wash my face and jump in the shower. So now we're going to pull it out and we're going to give it a good stir. At this point, your pasta should feel kind of al dente. Make sure that it is. If it's not, cook it covered for another 10 minutes maybe. Now I'm just going to take about a cup or so of mozzarella cheese and sprinkle right over the top. Get it all nice and covered. Now we're going to go back in that 400-degree oven, uncovered. This time we're going to stay in here for about 10 more minutes. Smells delicious. It's brown and bubbly. Let's let it sit here and cool for a couple of minutes. Oh, I can't wait to dig into this tonight. I don't know what kind of monster I'm turning into. There are no side dishes tonight. There is no salad. It's all right in here. I mean, there's salad in the fridge. If they want it, they can come and get it out. But this is everything. These are some of my very most favorite flavors. And I love these casseroles where you just dump everything and it all cooks together in the oven. I mean, look at that. Full of flavor, the oil from the sun-dried tomatoes, along with the little tomatoes, the spinach, all the Italian seasonings. Let's give her a bite. Oh my gosh. That's so good. That is so good. You don't need anything else. You don't need anything else at all. I mean, just look at that. I swear, I think this is my favorite of the dump and bake recipes to date. This is delicious. Just dump and bake and go about your evening. Enjoy a hearty, delicious dinner in no time at all. This one's amazing. If you want some more ideas for chicken dinners that are not casseroles, check out this video from a couple weeks ago. It's got 3 delicious, quick and easy chicken dinners that you're sure to love. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you, friends. And as always, I send you love from my kitchen.